here we are at the Spokane International Airport getting ready to head out to catch about 20 to 24 hours of plane flights. I packed an entire beautiful charcuterie box and I was so full because right after I consumed that whole charcuterie box, they brought out the best plane dinner ever. We were super intrigued because we were actually flying over the Arctic Circle to get there. When we arrived in Charles de Gaulle Airport, we just had no clue how much we would have to do to get to our flight, including going through customs, another security check. We basically ran to the gate. Luckily, our plane was delayed, so we made it onto our flight to Florence. When we arrived in Florence, we had a private driver pick us up. He was really kind.
See, and the airport to the Florence, the Mickey Mouse airport.
Then we finally arrived in our Florence hotel called the Hotel Minerva. We had a lovely view of the wall across the way, but it was such a beautiful room. They left us out a nice welcome spread. The room was super spacious and we just loved staying there. We also had this sweet little patio on our floor that we actually spent a lot of time in, so it was really nice to just be able to take in the views after a long day of travel. We were also so glad that we had a hotel that was overlooking a square because everywhere in Florence is so compact. It was just nice to be able to come back to the hotel and have a little bit of space and breathing room. It was really nice. At this point, we were so tired from our travels that we decided to order room service, which ironically had the best pasta that we had through our whole trip.
And the next morning we woke up around 4 a.m. due to the jet lag and having traveled for so long. So we decided there's no chance we're going to sleep any longer, so we went to go explore the courtyard in front of our house, or just a kind of open area, just to get some views before there's a bunch of people all gathered around everywhere. And immediately after that, we headed back into our hotel for a complimentary breakfast, and this was absolutely stunning. They had all kinds of things from pastries, cakes, croissants, donuts, all kinds of different juices. They had American breakfast, different cheeses, fruits, veggies, all kinds of things you can imagine, as well as cappuccino, and all of it was complimentary at our hotel. Then afterward, we decided to head through town, explore a little bit on foot, and decided to head to a place called Piazzale Michelangelo, which was quite a bit of a trail, but was totally and absolutely worth it, as it just kept getting more and more beautiful on our journey up to the top, which led us to one of the best views that you can find of the city of Florence. Busy at work? Oh, we got a car coming. Husband of a photographer. Continue the ascent next. So I was right? Was that?
You were right.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you can actually just park up here. They even got telescopes. Wow, look at that view. And once you're at the top, you get this gorgeous view of Florence. It's so bright. Afterwards, we headed back into the city where we saw the Duomo and all the tourists that were crowding around this area. Then we decided to try a Florentine sandwich at Pino's, which ended up not being our favorite. It didn't help that they messed up our order though. And then afterwards we headed to our cooking class with Chef David, and this was a lot of fun. We ended up making tagliatelle noodles and ravioli all from scratch with our own hands. And we also ended up making gelato, which everything turned out amazing and it was absolutely delicious, as well as the wine tasting we got to do while eating the food that we cooked. We even got a certificate of proficiency in cooking Italian cuisine from Chef David.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Then after a long day, we decided to just have a relaxing evening on the rooftop of our hotel where there's a pool and bar. We also met another couple who was honeymooning, where we also defended ourselves from very aggressive pigeons while enjoying our first of many Aperol spritzes.
The next morning, we started our day by having our favorite complimentary meal of the day, breakfast. We had a really busy day planned, but we decided to walk through the beautiful streets of Florence before heading over to Boboli Gardens. We were still pretty jet lagged, so we were morning people at this point.
Let's put the shades on. It's a little sunny. Oh wow, that's amazing. My allergies are probably going to be really bad. But we shall see.
Oh, that's a nice view.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Please stop rolling your ankle every step. Tay has rolled her ankle on the way here. On
uneven ground.
a slight deformity in the ground, but I think it's mostly her shoes that are kind of not built for lots of walking. I urged her to wear the other ones, but she didn't listen.
These ones match my outfit more.
For the fashion.
We also visited the art gallery connected to the gardens before heading back to our hotel to get changed and then head right back out. So we went to this pizza place called Pizza Napoli. The pizza was really good. We took it to go because we did not want to be late for our group tour. So we ended up eating on the ground of an alley because it was really hot and there were no seats. Then we left for our small group tour of the Tuscan countryside with some very interesting characters, including a woman who would not stop watching really loud videos in our otherwise very quiet van, and who made pretty much everyone, including our tour guide, stop and take her picture literally at every beautiful spot. And guess what she did when she found out that I am a professional photographer? She made me take so many selfies of her. But we did have a beautiful tour of Siena and walked around the whole town with our tour group, and it was beautiful.
After Siena, we made our way to San Gimignano, which is an old castle built in the Tuscan countryside way on top of a hill, so everywhere you look you have stunning views of the Tuscan countryside. In San Gimignano, you can also find the world's most famous gelato, according to numerous different awards. This gelato was seriously good, though, I gotta say.
Holy smokes.
And we just spent some time walking around the city, visiting the squares. It was definitely a more touristy town. We learned from our tour guide that nobody local really lives in this town. It pretty much is just hotels and shops for the tourists, but it was still really beautiful, had a lovely view, and it was just fun to see yet another town in the Tuscan countryside.
After San Gimignano, we finished off the day with a tour, dinner, and wine tasting at a boutique Chianti winery, which is in the Tuscan countryside.
And because this winery is a boutique winery, they don't ship or sell as many bottles of wine as other wineries in this area, which means that the property was very intimate, beautiful, well curated. It was a bit smaller than other wineries, but it was perfect. They even had this garden filled with lemon trees. That was definitely an Italian dream and a photographer's dream. It was so gorgeous. And at this point, we finally got to sit down for a meal with our fellow tour group and had so much fun getting to know them from all over the US.
I'd just like to note that we walked approximately 27,000 steps on this day, where we walked the Boboli Gardens and did our tour of Siena, San Gimignano, as well as this winery. The next morning we headed to the train station to make our way to Rome.